Hello, I'm Patricia Banish, author of 7 Memories, Partnering to Write a Memoir. And I'm so excited to tell you about the collaboration that I'm doing with the University of California, San Diego Department of Urban Studies and Planning. They have an intergenerational oral history project, and they're using the book to train their undergraduates. The undergraduates choose an extraordinary older person that they want to create an oral history with. This extraordinary person is an EP, as we fondly call them. And I'm going to show you some of the extraordinary projects that these students came up with. The first one is a cookbook, Remembering Mom. Here's an excerpt. My dad shared his happiest memory of meeting my mother at a coffee shop. It was by coincidence, since my mother's date never appeared, but my father did instead. It was also bittersweet conversing about this memory because my mother died when I was 2 years old. My memoir project was a cookbook infused with recipes and the memories, since my father and mother possessed a shared passion for cooking. Another project shows dream catchers honoring ethnic relics. This young man created dream catchers to show his mother's oral history, and he said, I felt a sense of humanity when I was listening to these humbling yet captivating stories. In another project, it included molded airplane, which is an inspiration for a book. This young lady said, because of this memoir, my aunt has been inspired to write an extended version or a book about her life memories. Well, I would actually write it if she tells me the stories. The next project is actually a video, and the young lady said, something about seeing the quotes I picked for my final presentation really highlighted the strength and sacrifice my grandmother made for us all. I hope to have the opportunity to ask my grandma even more questions. In the next project, this young man actually created a rap song to honor his grandfather's life. And he said, the spectrum of cultures that was covered through these presentations was vast, and I felt like I learned a lot about people who have completely different backgrounds than my own. In another project, the strengthening of bonds between generations came through. This young lady said, this class has shown me how important communication is to strengthening the connection between young people and elders. There is so much to learn and many ways for young and elderly people to grow by sharing their ideas and experiences with one another. In another project, the young lady talked about passing stories to the next generations. She said, listening to everyone present about their EPs was the favorite part of the class. It was so valuable listening to my classmates passionately present their EP stories because it gave us all a sense of what people of a generation or 2 generations before us have gone through. And finally, this really unique representation in terms of an origami. And the young man said, all of us go through life every day alongside thousands of strangers, each with a different story. If we had the chance to get to know everyone as we walk past, we would learn the reasons behind their actions and feelings. We would learn to be more compassionate and understanding. We would treat our family and friends with even more patience and kindness. Well said. Finally, here's a young lady who talks about ripples. Going around the room, I could hear the tenderness and the pride in students' voices as they talked about those they had chosen. To me, This project and this class in its entirety felt like a pebble in a pond. By prompting us to think about the real and rich lives that hundreds of thousands of seniors have forged, we begin to see the pricelessness of what can be learned and recorded. Hopefully, this will inspire us to make our own ripples and influence the lives of those around us for the better. As you can see, it is so heartening to hear these students' insights and realize the profound impact this intergenerational oral history project has had on them. And it gives all of us great hope for a bright future. I'd like to thank Professors Dr. Leslie Lewis and Meryl Rabinovitz-Bussell of UCSD's Department of Urban Studies and Planning for allowing me to share in this beautiful project. Thank you for listening.